Howdy friends, today we're going to review the DVRGE Travel Backpack. Now this is a new design from a new company, and this is a sports travel bag. And in today's video we're going to do a full walkthrough and show you the unique feature set that this bag has. I'm going to share my experience in using this bag, and of course I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on how well this bag delivers its overall promise of being a better sports travel bag. Now, as always, there's chapter markers down below if you need to skip ahead, but let's start unpacking all of the details of the DVRGE Travel Backpack. So I got to chat a little bit with DVRGE's owner. His name is Andy, and he's kind of a badass. He does jiu-jitsu, he's a marathoner, he's a triathlete. So if you know anybody like Andy, or you're one of those people yourself, you're probably traveling to different training facilities and probably traveling to different events to compete in. And that's where the inspiration for this bag came from. Andy wanted to build a better sports travel bag. So I want to jump straight away into the interior of this bag. That's where it's going to have the most features, and honestly the biggest selling point to this bag is going to be this bag's interior organizational system. So as you can see here, we don't have that traditional U-shape access to the main compartment, so it has this nice like teardrop shape, very aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. And the bag is going to open up kind of like a full clamshell. I would call it full clamshell, even though you have a little lip at the bottom that you can't fully access, but overall access to the main compartment is going to be really good. Now this bag operates what I call 3 different zones. You have the top section here with the floating shelf, and then you have 2 more compartments which we'll get into here. But talking about the floating shelf here, it simply tucks away when not in use, and then you can easily fold it up, and it has these button attachments here to secure it in place. And what that's going to do is going to provide you what I would say is zone 1. It's going to be able to keep your top half separate from your bottom half here. So now you're probably thinking, why would you need a floating shelf? Well, I mean, honestly, the possibilities are endless for the shelf. If you're using this as a training bag, perhaps you're carrying pre-workout, protein powders, and maybe you just want your bottles to stay standing upright up at the top and not really down and sideways with the rest of your stuff in the main compartment. So it's just a great way to provide additional organization. And like I said, if you don't need it, you don't even have to use it, but it's providing a unique shelf here that utilizes what I consider is a lot of dead space in a lot of backpacks, because most bags, as you load your bag out, you put your heaviest things at the bottom and everything else just kind of sinks to the bottom as you get walking and going throughout the day with your bag. So having this floating shelf up here, I think, is a very unique way to take advantage of what's usually dedicated dead space or just open area. So I like to see that there's something different, something I haven't seen on the market, and I'm always down to check out some new features in backpacks. Now, most sports bags on the market are definitely going to have a shoe compartment, so this is not a unique feature to the DVRGE Travel Backpack, but the way implementation here is a little bit different. So you have side access to the shoe compartment, and it's pretty cool. So you just unzip the side, and here is your shoe compartment, and it's being secured back on the inside. Let's move this floating shelf out of the way real quick. It's being secured by this piece of foam here, and what that piece of foam is going to do, if you unbuckle it, it allows you to expand the shoe compartment, but when it's not in use, all this excess material is pushed against the side and neatly tucked away. Now, if you've seen shoe compartments on many of the other bags, you're gonna know that all of that excess material just usually hangs out at the bottom. While it's usually not a problem because it's usually at the bottom of the bag, but here, since it's implemented side to side, it's definitely a unique feature there. And it just keeps the bag's interior just nice and tidy in my opinion. Now with the buttons undone, we can fully access what I call zone 3. As you can see, it extends all the way across the bottom of the bag. And this is gonna be for dirty clothes. So another cool thing about these 2 compartments here in the shoe compartment and this clothing compartment is this constructed of an odor resistant material. So after your day of training and you have all that sweaty clothes, this is a place to put it in here, and it keeps it away from the interior of your bag. It keeps it smelling fresh. And if you're also carrying other items, you know, you don't cross-contaminate with your sweaty gym clothes. Now, even though both of those compartments do have that odor resistant material being used as a liner, you're still gonna have one little ventilation port on each side to help that pocket breathe a little bit. So those foam panels being used to keep all that excess material tucked away, again, is a unique solution that I have never seen in the backpack, especially this floating shelf here. The downside to all of this is it adds additional weight, right, with these extra pieces of foam, and they're actually quite thick. So if you were to add this one and this one and this one, that's considerable amount of usable space being taken up by these foam. Each one of these foams is like a 1/4 inch thick, so you're losing some side access here of space, and of course just having this here, it's gonna take up a little bit of usable space. On the flip side, having this shelf here just provides so much versatility for different items that you might want to carry and don't want bouncing around in your bag. Now when it comes to the rest of this bag's interior, we're using a high quality 210 denier ripstop nylon in this gray color to help you find your gear, so that's awesome. We're not staring into a black hole. And at the top part of the shelf area, you have a 50-50 split pocket with one stretch and one solid pocket, and then you have one simple zippered pocket on the back side for more organization. On the opposite side of the beaver tail, you just have one simple stretch pocket here. It's got a good amount of space in here. You can fit larger, bulkier items. There is no additional pocket down here. This is where you're gonna have your clothing and your shoes. So I like that they didn't add a zipper pocket here to, you know, just confuse you a little bit more and make the bag more complicated. So nice, clean and simple, just one larger pocket up at the top. There's gonna be plenty more features on the exterior as well, like this reflective band down here at the bottom. It's also like a grab handle, so if you need to pull this from an overhead bin there, but it also has some reflective properties to it as well. And of course the compression straps on each side are gonna help you cinch this bag down. Now this is a large bag, so these, I can definitely see where a use case can be used for this bag, but at least you have the options there. You can also remove these compression straps, they're removable, and you can tie them into the cross-cut panels up here on the front. So if you wanted to put them X-ways here, you can put a yoga mat, you can put a helmet for different sporting events. So it gives you a little bit of versatility to move these compression straps to the front of the bag as well. In my normal day-to-day, I typically don't need a water bottle pocket, but in a travel bag, I do appreciate having at least one, and this bag is gonna be equipped with two. And I love the execution here on the water bottle pockets. They have plenty of pillowing already built into the bag. And what that means for you is that when this travel bag is fully packed out, you're not gonna have to fight to get your larger Nalgene's, your Yeti bottles into this bag. So if you're traveling to the gym and you want to bring your shaker bottle, it will easily fit into this fully packed out bag, as well as your 1 liter Nalgene. So great execution of the water bottle pockets by DVRGE on this pack. So like I said earlier, this is a larger bag coming in at a listed capacity of 36 liters. And to help you maneuver that bag, you're going to have one carry grab handle up here at the top, as well as one on each side of the bag to help you maneuver this bag. And again, of course, that front grab handle as well. Now, the most important thing for me in any travel backpack, regardless of its design use case, is going to be the harness system and the carry comfort. So let's take a look at the harness system first. When you get to the back panel of this bag, you're met with these J-shaped contour straps for comfort. They're plenty wide and have lots of thick padding. So at the thickest part here, we're coming in at about 3.5 inches at the very top of this bag. Shoulder straps are, you know, a mixed bag. You know, some companies go wide and thick, some just go thick, some just go thin, but wide, you know, there's a combination to them. And striking a perfect balance of thickness and width in the shoulder straps is kind of like both an art and a science. So comfort is subjective and it's going to be different for everybody's body type, but I found these straps to be quite comfortable overall in this pack. On the shoulder straps, you have 2 additional attachment points there where you can hook additional gear, and you have an adjustable and removable sternum strap there. Now, once we get to the back panel, we have plenty more padding here as well, and like doubled up here on the bottom of the lumbar support. So here you have some branding printed right into the bag. It says DVRGE. There's also a small little DVRGE logo right here printed to the bottom. It's black on black, so if you're gonna do logos on the bag, this is definitely the route to go, not to blast your bag with branding overall. But you do have some large padding panels here at the top. It's gonna provide you some nice air breathability, and as well as a vertical luggage pass-through. I don't know if you can quite pick it up on camera, but it says the journey is what transforms us. Now, make no mistake, this is a very large travel backpack, so it was interesting to see the addition of the vertical luggage pass-through. But I mean, if you're traveling to different sporting events, maybe you're going with a larger check-in roller and this is going to be your carry-on backpack. But I mean, it's better to have the option than to not have it, in my opinion. So like I said, it is a big bag, make no mistake, but you do have the option to carry it with your roller luggage. So currently at the time of filming, this bag's available in 3 different fabric options: a 500D Cordura, the VX21 material, and an X50, which is kind of like the best of both worlds. It has that 500D face on it, but it has all the laminate backing like an X-Pack material. So the primary fabric of the material of the bag I have for you right here is that VX21 X-Pack. So you might pick up on the cross ply. You see it here. And as this bag patinas and ages over time, I found in my experience, especially VX21, that cross ply diamonds will become more evident. So it may not be to everyone's liking, especially as it ages, but just keep that in mind that if you choose to go X-Pack, you're definitely going to see some of that cross ply come through. Now, as far as the rest of the materials for this bag, DVRGE spared no expense. We're using all high quality materials. You have YKK AquaGuard zippers throughout the bag. This is the X-Pack material. You have this nicer, softer twill webbing that you're going to find like on the seatbelt of a car. There's strap keepers everywhere. You have metal hardware on your G-hooks, even right down to your adjustment straps of your shoulder straps. Hyperlon zipper pulls, so everything is very premium feeling on this bag. And that's gonna go hand in hand with the pricing. Now, depending on your material, is gonna vary in price. I think the 500D starts at, I think, $269. This one is $299 for the X-Pack, and I think all the way up to $369 for the X50. Now, I'm no expert by any means, but just using my experience of having purchased bags with my own money in various price points, I think that this bag's in line with its asking prices. When you take into consideration the high quality materials, the construction, and the overall build quality, I can see where the asking price matches the bag. So this is definitely going to be a premium sports bag option. Again, you just got to keep that all in mind when you're looking at that price. Now, one additional material choice and design choice I really liked about this bag is the decision to go with the 1680D ballistic nylon on the bottom of the bag. As you can see, this bag's completely empty and it stands up extremely well on its own. So that bottom heavy duty 1680D material is gonna make this bag withstand until a lot of different scenarios. It's really abrasion resistant. Now, you could definitely have used X-Pack as the overall bottom lining, but I found, especially bags that do use X-Pack VX21 as the bottom, over time the laminates do become soft, so it doesn't have a lot of structure. It just looks pretty bad in my opinion. So love the decision where they chose to put an extremely durable material at the point where the bag is going to be making the most contact with a lot of surfaces. Now, on the front of this bag, you do have two drop pockets. There are no additional pockets on either one of them. This one's a little bit smaller, and they both have rain flaps. I found them to be extremely difficult, especially this pocket right here. It barely has any opening, and then you have to fight the rain flap. I found this pocket just completely unusable. It has no volume. It's super tight. I have a pretty good sized hand, and my hand would literally get stuck in this pocket there. So I had a similar experience with the Alpaca Elements Travel Backpack. Not a lot of usable space, and honestly, just not usable at all. And then this top pocket, again, you have another rain flap. No additional organization in this pocket there, but you do have a blue key leash with some more metal hardware, so that's a nice little touch. There is a sprinkle of blue stitching up here on the bag as well, just to give it a little accent color. I do like that. And the only other exterior pocket is going to be this bag's laptop compartment. You do have two sleeves here for a laptop and a tablet. Both are going to be padded and suspended off the bottom. They are that microfiber line, so it's going to provide you with some scratch protection. And on the other side here, they have this zippered mesh pocket for you to put like your charging bricks and cables. Again, utilizing that top dead space that you usually get in bags, especially if you're using like a 14-inch computer. It's just going to sink all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to have all this room up here just left open. So great utilization of that dead space here with this pocket as well. In addition to being AquaGuard zippers, the main compartment and your laptop compartment are also going to feature that lockable feature where you can run a small luggage lock or a carabiner to help secure your belongings in transit. Now, for some pros and cons and some things I liked and didn't like about this bag, the number one pro for me is going to be the overall feature set of the three different compartments: the shoe compartment, laundry compartment, and that floating shelf. While it probably won't be for everybody, this is a sports travel bag, and I think people who are looking for one are going to find tremendous value out of those compartments. Even if you're using this for daily carry, like I said, I know it's a big bag, but I carried it for daily carry. If you're going to work, you can carry all of your work things. You can keep your electronics up top on the floating shelf. You have your gym clothes here, your shoes there, your protein. I mean, it's a one bag for everyday carry if you're going to be using it that way. But obviously, if you're traveling, it's going to have the additional features for you as well, especially if you're going to any of those sporting events. Another thing I really liked about this bag is the harness system. I found it to be extremely comfortable. Now, this bag can get quite heavy once you load it up with all of your gear, and I thought that this harness system and straps and overall padding and breathability did an excellent job of managing that weight across my bag. This is a very wide backpack, but it felt at home on my frame. Again, I'm 5'10" with a 21-inch torso, so your results may vary, especially if you're on the smaller side. But overall, I thought the carry comfort of this bag was excellent. And lastly, the thing I really enjoyed about this bag is the overall quality and material set here. I love that the DVRGE, for being their very first backpack, went full in on different material options. I think there's like a multicam black as well, and that X50. All high quality materials, the metal hardware. It gives their very first bag a very premium feeling. And yes, it is attached to a very premium price tag, but I do feel that what you get in return is equal to that price tag. So great job on the material choices, especially being able to offer 3 different ones right out of the gate on a new company. Now, no bag is perfect, and I definitely had issues with this bag here. The number one con I had with this bag is the AquaGuard zippers. Now, I mentioned in the previous video, not all PU coated zippers are created equally. I've had some bags from Unpack'D that had these zippers and they were buttery smooth. Unfortunately, this bag is not one of those bags. The number 10 zipper I love to see on the main compartment, but it was extremely sticky on this bag. It got better over time, but not by much. It required a great deal of force. And because it's not a traditional U-shaped zipper track, the additional force needed for the stickiness of the zipper and having to conquer these curves and contours made it especially difficult to get in and out of the main compartment. There aren't any counter pulls anywhere on the bag to grab onto to help you with that zipper. So I find myself just having to grab the bag and then force the zipper over the contour of this bag. And I'm not exaggerating, like, it's a lot of force required. These are some of the most stickiest zippers I've ever had to use on a backpack. So maybe with more use, they'll break in over time, but that's one of the trade-offs, right? You get that extra weather protection, but you have to deal with the stickiness of the zippers, and then the way the zipper line is, designed here. I think it adds additional interference in that zipper usage. Now, the zippers do get hung up right here on the floating shelf. That could also be an advantage to you depending on how you use the bag. I found that when it does get hung up right here, it will stop right here, and the other zipper will stop about at that same spot right there. It allows you to flap this open, and then you have quick access to your floating shelf area there. So you could go both ways. You can get annoyed that it gets snagged, or you can see it as a benefit as it acts as a quick access to this area here. So the second con to this bag, and like any bag that's gonna have a heavy feature set, is gonna be the overall weight. When I weighed this bag on my own personal scale, the X-Pack version here came in at 4.3 pounds on my scale. So a dry weight of 4 pounds is going to be quite heavy for a 36-liter bag. So if you're traveling in the United States, not so much of a big deal, but in some countries like in Southeast Asia where they're weighing your carry-ons and personal items, giving up 4 pounds to just the bag alone could be an issue for you. On the flip side, I do feel that the harness system is quite beefy and can support the overall weight of the bag, but just something to keep in mind if you're looking for a lightweight solution, this is definitely not going to be the bag for you. And my last little nitpick with this bag overall were the 2 external pockets. I found that when this bag is fully packed out, you don't have great access or volume in these pockets, especially this one here. This one, I just refuse to use it because my hand will get stuck getting out of it since the zipper track is so small, not ideal. And this one being larger, you still lose all of the volume to the back side. So especially if you pack out that floating shelf section or that back pocket, this pocket became very slim. While I can get into it easier, it didn't feel good putting my sunglasses or other thing into this pocket for quicker access. I wish there was more like a quick access pocket with dedicated volume to put my sunglasses. What I ended up doing was using one of these water bottle pockets as my quick access to put my sunglasses and power bank and other thing that I needed quicker access to, because that was a lot easier than having to deal with the tightness of some of these external pockets. So for some final thoughts on the DVRGE Travel Backpack here, I think the company did an excellent job on providing a travel solution for those traveling athletes. But like I mentioned, even if you're just at home and training at the gym, I can easily see this bag being a solution for you as well. If you want to carry your lunch, your workout gear, your stuff for work, all fit in this bag, and then you have that flexibility after work to go to the gym and then keep your shoes and your clothing separate after it gets all sweaty. So again, it is a large backpack, don't get me wrong, but most people are carrying gym like duffel bags to the gym. So I don't think this is a size that it's going to be unfamiliar in those training spots. for work maybe, but having to carry only one bag could be a great solution for you if that's something you're looking for. This obviously is not going to be the travel backpack for everyone, but it's also not designed to be. In that specific use case and people looking for a solution, I honestly don't think that there's a better option on the market. I can't even think of a better sports travel bag on the market right off the top of my head. So if you're looking for a better solution, a more premium solution, this is definitely going to be the bag for you. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the DVRGE Travel Backpack. What do you think about the compartments, especially the really cool floating shelf? How could you see yourself using that? What do you think about that? Now, if you have any more questions for me about this travel backpack, definitely put your question in the comment section down below. I respond to every single comment. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. So if this wasn't it, we're definitely going to help you find the right bag. But overall, let me know your thoughts on what you think of DVRGE's first offering in the sports travel backpack. So let's pack this bag out to show this bag's unique feature set in action. So I have a set of size 11 GoRuck Rough Runners, and they easily fit into this shoe compartment. So I think you can easily house, I would say, at least up to a size 12 in this bag, no problem. So of course, with any bag that has a shoe compartment, it eats a lot of space into your main compartment. And then with the addition of these thick foam padding sleeves to help keep your excess material organized, you're going to lose a little bit more volume as well. Now it is 36-liter bag, and honestly it felt more like a 32-liter bag, maybe even 30 liters on some days. So now, even though it is large and definitely not personal item size, it's going to be carry-on size, I still don't think it's a full 36 liters in my opinion. I normally use packing cubes, but to maximize the amount of space in this bag, I felt it was best just to leave the cubes behind and really pack this bag out. So I travel in a capsule wardrobe. So right here I have 2 pairs of pants and a pair of shorts in the middle, and I would pack that down at the bottom. And then using stuff like Western Gear or Lululemon or all of the other travel bands there, these pants don't get wrinkled even when I shove them in there like that. They'll come out relatively wrinkle free once I get to my destination. And then same can be said with the shirts. I have 3 shirts here. You can pack those in there as well. Then my 5 pairs of boxer briefs can easily fit right on top of my clothes. And then now for my 5 pairs of socks, I would just sprinkle them on top. And this is how I would pack out my bag here for a 5-day trip. Again, capsule wardrobe is the key, but you can see you still got room there for an entire 5 days worth of clothes and a pair of shoes, and we haven't even got to the top of the floating shelf portion of the bag. Now on the other side of the bag, you do have this zipper compartment there, and the only thing I carried in this pocket there is my boo-boo kit, my first aid kit. I've talked about this in almost every backpack video I do. It just got Tums, I got a little bit of Advil, Band-Aids, Neosporin, things of that nature, just on the go. I also carry this for EDC as well, but definitely when I travel, it's good to have like a little pair of tweezers, nail clipper in there, just in case you get a hangnail. So great spot to put my little boo-boo kit in there. Now once we get to this floating section of the bag, again, you have some organization there to put some gear. This back pocket's a great place to put like your wallet, your passport if you're traveling, because it's a zippered pocket within a zippered pocket. And then with these outer pockets being lockable, it's even extra secure there. So that's where I try to put like more valuables and stuff like that. Now up front here, I don't typically use this little small pockets, especially when I'm traveling. I like to keep all my things organized in an organizer, and I have my cap one from EVERGOODS in here to organize my electronics that I'll need on the go. I just like having quicker access to everything in one fell swoop. When I get to my destination, I can take it all out at once. Now I still have plenty of room in there. This is my toiletry kit. This is the Explorer Slim from Gravel. Again, still fits right on top of there as well. And you still got a little bit of space there at the top, so if you want to carry your over-the-ear headphones, they will fit in there as well. Then once you round the corners here, like I said, they're a little sticky and you just have to grab onto the bag because there are no counter pulls, but you will get it to close up there. So you have a very big padded laptop section like I mentioned earlier, and I have a 3D print of a Dell XP computer, and it easily fits down into the padded laptop sleeve with plenty of room to spare at the top. So if you're carrying a 17-inch device, fear not, it will easily fit in there as well. And you still have that additional pocket. Now it does get tight with these larger devices to put your iPad. It's actually very tight, so just keep that in mind. If you're carrying a thick chunky boy like a 17-inch computer, it's going to be very tight, especially if you want to carry a tablet. Now my personal device is only a 14-inch, so I didn't experience that in real life. Just something to be aware of there with that 3D print. And then you still have all the space at the top. So you have this zipper pocket, this great place to put like your mouse, your larger charging brick for your MacBook, and even the charging cable itself will all fit, utilizing that space up at the top. When this bag's fully packed out is when I experienced a complete loss of volume out of these two pockets. This one, like I said, is just deemed unusable. This one, you can fit some additional gear in there. It's just gonna be tight, but you have no other options. You're gonna have to squeeze gear in here. You know, barely get my hand in there, but you can still fit, like, your car keys will still clip onto this carabiner. They'll fit down in there. And then just slimmer items like my chapstick, chewing gum, and then a power bank is getting a little tight, and then some hand sanitizer. Like I said, you can still fit gear in there. It's just really tight. Like I said, I was glad that there was two external water bottle pockets because I can put my Sunnies into one side and then still have the other for even a giant 1 liter Nalgene. Great water bottle pockets on this bag. Now I don't travel with one, just to demonstrate you can still fit that 1 liter Nalgene in a fully packed out bag. Now the compression straps do run across the main zipper track, so you will have to undo them to get into your bag. That provides the advantage of shrinking this big bag down. And also if you're carrying a larger bottle, you can secure it with the straps there, or if you're carrying a tripod, you can easily secure that in the water bottle pocket. So there's definitely advantages to these compression straps, and if you don't need them, they're completely removable, so I love that about them. And they also have strap management all the way across the board. You're going to have strap management, so you're not going to have any dangling pieces hanging throughout the bag. If you made it this far into this video, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you like this video or you got any value from today's video, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. I want to say thank you to DVRGE for sending this pack out for me to test and review. And if this wasn't the pack you were quite looking for, I have an entire playlist of travel backpacks right here, and hopefully you can find something in there. But again, thank you for supporting today's video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.